Ramesh and his 4 college friends, Bijay, Prakash, Alina, and Sandesh, decided to celebrate their Dashain holidays by taking a trip to the hills of Ghandruk, a picturesque village near Pokhara. They flew to Pokhara and hired a jeep to continue their journey into the mountains. As they neared Ghandruk, a heavy mist rolled in, and just off the main trail, they spotted an enormous, beautiful wooden mansion tucked among rhododendron trees and wrapped in clouds. It looked like something out of a dream, clearly an old-style boutique hotel. However, their driver, Dinesh Dai, suddenly grew uneasy. He hesitated to stop and suggested they go to other well-known guest houses in Ghandruk. Bijay, always skeptical, immediately suspected that Dinesh had some commission-based deal with another hotel. But the friends were drawn to the mansion's eerie charm and insisted on checking it out. To their surprise, the hotel offered rooms at a surprisingly low rate, Rs 2,000 for a duplex room. Ramesh found this odd. The place looked like it belonged in a movie set. His instincts screamed that something was off, but the others were too excited to care. Inside, the lobby was strangely quiet. Only a single staff member sat behind the desk. A man with hollow eyes and a sullen expression. When they got to their room, the disappointment hit hard. The interior didn't match the exterior at all. Plain, wooden furniture, peeling walls, and a musty smell. A large, worn-out carpet lay over the floor. Ramesh noticed a disturbing hole in the middle, like a snake's burrow carved into the wood beneath. They tried to nap in the afternoon, but their rest was shattered by Bijay's scream. A huge black rat had darted out of the hole and scrambled across the room before vanishing back into it. Startled and disgusted, they all jumped onto their beds. That evening, they decided to explore the area around the hotel and took some photos near an old stone bench facing the hills. Just as Ramesh snapped a group selfie, a loud thud echoed behind them. A rusty iron drum filled with dry leaves had appeared, seemingly out of nowhere. Later, while wandering through a forest trail near the hotel, a stray Himalayan dog began following them. It barked playfully at first, as if guiding them down the path. Suddenly, the air turned still, unnaturally so. The dog froze, then began barking aggressively, its eyes fixed on the path behind them. Another loud thud. The same drum had appeared again, now directly behind them. The wind picked up and began to spiral violently, circling around them like a cyclone. Terrified, the dog ran off into the darkness. The friends stood frozen in place, unable to move or scream. They began reciting Gayatri mantra and as soon as the wind died down, they bolted toward the hotel. Holding hands and chanting, they crossed the gate, breathless and pale. But the worst was yet to come. When they opened their room door, they saw a woman's body, dressed in a red sari, hanging from the ceiling fan. Her eyes wide open, hair swaying in the still air. They screamed in horror and stumbled back into the hallway. Ramesh rushed to the reception, breathlessly telling the man what they saw. The receptionist didn't even blink. "You must have imagined it," he said coldly. "No one else has ever complained." He refused to let them leave early or return their money. No matter how much they begged, the staff acted like nothing had happened. Finally, Prakash called Dinesh Dai, their driver. By some miracle, he arrived within the hour at 1 a.m. Without being told anything, Dinesh simply nodded and said, "I knew you'd call. That hotel is haunted." He explained that many locals avoided the place. Years ago, a newlywed couple had checked in during their honeymoon. Days later, the woman was found hanging from a fan, just like they saw, but her body showed signs of violence. Locals believed her husband had tortured and murdered her, and the case was never solved. Since then, strange things happened to those who stayed there. Some even went missing. The group spent the rest of that night crammed in the jeep with Dinesh Dai, too scared to return to the hotel or even sleep. The rest of their Pokhara trip passed uneventfully, but none of them ever forgot the night in Ghandruk. What began as a dream holiday became the most terrifying experience of their lives.